And welcome to today's class on Scott Leroy Marketing Services for Leadership. My name is Leah, and what I'll be taking you through in today's class is how to best utilize all of our services to get your agents onboarded in the most efficient manner. We have tried to find the best practices for every market center to make the process as easy as possible for you guys and integrate our processes with the processes that you might already have going on in your market center. So what I'm going to do is actually start at the beginning of the process, and we'll go through the entire process to give you some quick tips on everything there. And where I'd like to start is actually on the very beginning of adding your agents to the KW system. So when you add your agents to WinMore, as you probably know, it automatically generates their MyKW username and password and typically sends that over to the office's KLRW email address. So that KW email address that every MCA gets. Now, the biggest holdup that we find in the process of onboarding your agents is that agents don't provide us with their username and password to log into their MyKW account. And we, of course, need that in order to get them all set up with all the KW tech tools. But a lot of times agents think that we create that username and password for them, so they're not even aware they need to give it to us. So I'm going to walk you through the best way in order to get your agents' logins over to us right when you put them into WinMore. So what I'm going to show you, and if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to show you how to log into the MCA's KLRW email address and how to have all those new associate emails that are generated from WinMore with your agent's default username and password for MyKW. I'm going to show you how to make those emails automatically forward over to our support inbox so we can get your agents onboarded as quickly as possible. So if you'd like to follow along, this is a great tip to making your life easier and making the onboarding process way smoother. So feel free to follow along. Again, this will be recorded, so you can always do this at a later time too. But if you'd like to follow along, let's go ahead and log into the KLRW Gmail account. So again, I am in the KLRW, then your market center number at kw.com, that email account. So I'm logged into gmail.com. And I'm going to click the settings gear on the very top right of your inbox here. All right, so I'm on the settings gear on the very top right, and it has to be specifically on the KLRW email address. And I'm going to select settings from that dropdown. All right, so again, that was the settings gear on the top right, and then settings from that dropdown. And from here, we're actually going to select the forwarding and pop IMAP option on the top blue toolbar there. And by the way, if I lose anyone during this process or any time during this class, feel free to let me know and I'm happy to catch you up or fill you in on any questions that you might have. So again, I'm on forwarding and pop IMAP, and I'm going to click add a forwarding address, so that top button here. And just so you're not alarmed, we are not going to be forwarding all of your emails over to us, okay? So don't worry about that. I'm going to show you how to just simply forward over the new associate emails to us. So in this pop-up box that displays, let's go ahead and type in support@scottleroymarketing.com. So again, I clicked add forwarding address button on the top of our screen here, and then we're typing in support@scottleroymarketing.com, and then select next. All right, you might get this pop-up that lets you know that you're forwarding mail to support@scottleroymarketing.com, so you can just click proceed for right now. And then click OK from that next little pop-up. Now off default, you'll notice that it's automatically set up to disable the forwarding, which is good. We don't want your emails to forward over to us, so we'll leave that as disabled here on the top. Okay, so make sure we're leaving that to disabled. disable forwarding. And what we're going to do next, right, just a couple more steps on this one, is we're going to select the drop down arrow on the very top search bar of this KLRW email inbox here. So I'm going to click that down arrow to the far right of that search bar at the top of your screen. And in the from field here, so specifically that from field, I'm going to write new associate at kw.com. That's where all of the default MyKW username and passwords will come from for your agents. Right? And that's again automatically generated when your agent is entered into Winmore. So again, that was new associate at kw.com. In the from field specifically, and I'm going to click that blue link on the very bottom right of that pop-up that says create filter with this search. Right, so I clicked on create filter with this search. On the very bottom right, it's that blue link there. And I'm now going to click the checkbox to the left of forward it to. It's about halfway down that list there. I'm clicking that checkbox to the left of forward it to. And then this drop down here, it says choose an address. So since we already added in our support email address, I can go ahead and select that from that list there. So we are now automatically forwarding all emails from newassociate at kw.com to support at scottleroymarketing.com. I'm going to click create filter on the bottom of this dropdown. You'll get this lovely yellow bar here that says your filter was created. And that is it. Those are the steps to have your agent's logins automatically sent over to us so that when your agent submits a questionnaire, we have their login and can get them set up as quickly as possible. This is the best method that we found to getting the logins right over to us to help expedite the process. Now, of course, this only works with new agents, all right? So brand new agents that you enter into Winmore, that is the only time that you get their default MyKW login information sent over to you. If you are handling or dealing with, let's say, a returning agent to KW, or maybe that agent is transferring from another KW office to your office, in that case, you would not receive that new associate email with their login information, okay, because they would already have that. So in theory, what you would want to do is ask your agent for that login information and make sure that's on the questionnaire they send us. But I know there's a million logins for everything, a million passwords they have to remember. So a lot of times the agent doesn't remember their MyKW password or username for that matter. If that's the case, if you run into that, fortunately, as an admin in your office, you can access their white pages profile from your admin MyKW account, and that will show you their username in the white pages. So if you could, at that point, send us over their username for MyKW, we can send over a password reset link right away to help get that agent's password reset so we can get them set up right away. All right, please let me know if you have any questions on the whole MyKW username and password and any part of that process so we can help you with that. Now, jumping to the next part of the process is getting your agent to fill out the questionnaire. So if you'd like to follow along with me, I'm going to switch over to scottleroymarketing.com, our website here. So as you're going to our website, I'm just going to talk about a couple things here. So again, our website address is scottleroymarketing.com, which you'll see on the top of my screen here. Okay, and so what a lot of offices will do is when they send over the agent's MyKW username and password, they also send us the agent's personal email address. At that time, if you choose to do this process, at that time we will take that personal email address, we will send the agent the correct questionnaire from our side. So we'll send them a questionnaire and we'll copy you in on that so you can see they received it to help encourage them to fill out the questionnaire. So that's another part of the process that seems to work really well for offices. Again, send us over their email address and we will send them the questionnaire directly. If you meet with each agent and you prefer to show them where the questionnaire is so that they can fill that out, let me walk you through that. So if you could go to scottleroymarketing.com, and you'll have to scroll down past this large image at the top of our website here to the white toolbar where it says KW Resources. So if you could hover your mouse over KW Resources, then hover your mouse over the top questionnaires option, and then let's actually click on where it says questionnaires from that flyout menu. Alright, so again, I hovered over KW Resources, hover over questionnaires, and then actually click on that questionnaires option that flies out. Alright, and it will most likely, unless you're already logged into our website, it will most likely ask you to log in. And that login for our website is just your Market Center number. Okay, so you can go ahead and enter that in. Just a heads up, that is the same login for all agents in your Market Center. If they ever ask you for that, it's just the Market Center number. And you can go ahead and click the checkbox to the left of Remember Me, so you don't have to type that in again, and click Login. And that will take you over to all the questionnaires that we have. So we try to create a questionnaire per every situation that an agent might be in. So let me quickly go over each one so you can get an idea of which questionnaire each agent would need in your office. So the top setup questionnaire there, that is the most popularly used questionnaire. That is the one that really probably 8-9 times out of 10 the agent would fill out. It's our standard questionnaire. And just a heads up with these questionnaires, we can customize each questionnaire to your Market Center specifically. So if you see certain questions that you don't want to be asked or you want us to add to the questionnaire, we can absolutely do that. So feel free to email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Let us know any changes you want made to your questionnaire and we can absolutely do that for you. Moving on down, we do have a short form set up. I know you'll run into agents that don't want to spend the time messing with the technology and just want to get set up as quickly as possible. So we created a shorter form as well, so it's a little less customized, but of course they can always send over the more customized information at a later time to our email address, and we can add that in the future. So short form setup, get them set up as quickly as possible. Transferring KW agent, so that is specifically for an agent who is transferring from one KW office to another KW office. To help get their KW tools set up, we have the expansion agent questionnaire, which is fairly new, I want to say within the last 6 months or so. Expansion agent questionnaire, that is if an agent coming to your Market Center is also going to stay active at another Market Center. So if they are working actively in Michigan and Florida at the same time, they would be considered an expansion agent, and that is the questionnaire for them. We have the capper questionnaire for all cappers and luxury agents, and we try to get your cappers set up within the same day as long as it's submitted before 2 p.m. So that's a great resource if that needs to be expedited. Teams, so this is for teams coming over to KW. You can see it's brand new to KW only, so help get their team information populated in their account. We have admin questionnaire, that would be for your staff at your Market Center, and also if you're an agent in your office hires an admin for their team, let's say, they could fill out an admin questionnaire as well. And lastly, we do have the placer questionnaire. So if you have experienced agents who've been there for a while and they just need their placer site set up, or if your office placer website needs to be set up, you can also fill out this form right here for your office. So that's a great tip. We are happy to get your office placer website set up for you. So these are all of our questionnaires right here. And of course, again, you can just always email us the agent's email address and we can send them the correct questionnaire that corresponds to their situation as well. So totally up to you on that, but that's where you would access that. Just a reminder how we got there. That was KW Resources on the top white toolbar, questionnaires, and then you would click on the questionnaires option from that flyout. So I'm going to go now to the next step in this process, and that is maybe checking on where your agent is in our queue. All right, so let's say an agent comes to you and tells you they filled out their questionnaire yesterday and they want to know when they'll be done set up. done getting set up. You can check the questionnaire queue on our website here that will show you that exactly. So again, KW Resources, Questionnaires, and go ahead and click on the questionnaire queue from that flyout menu. So this queue right here will show you in the first column which agents are in our queue to be set up today. In this right column here, that shows you any missing logins that we don't have for those agents. So we are not able to set up agents in this column right here. So if you do see one of your agents in this column here, please contact us and we can help try and get that resolved. We do, again, need their MyKW username and password to get them all set up. So if you see your agent's name here, please let us know and we can help you with that. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for you, that questionnaire queue here. And of course, the next part of the process is we finish setting them up and we send over the MyKW Setup Complete email. Now, as office staff, you've probably seen this email before since you are blind carbon copied on these setup emails here. Okay, so we do send this to the agent directly, whatever personal email address they give us on the questionnaire, and we do blind carbon copy the staff. And when they receive that, you'll see all the different items that we do during the setup for your agents. So things we set up, for example, are, of course, their entire MyKW account, their KW email, their KW website, so the Playster website, and we'll be talking about the Playster website in just a moment here and how to get that to launch. We set up their eEdge website, and along with that, we set up their eEdge account, which goes with their eEdge contact database and their marketing material section, their KW mobile app, the newer Kelly app, of course, their Dotloop account, Homekeeper, their agent profile, and so forth. Okay, so those are the big items that we do for set up for your agents. Now it's great. It's a whole bunch of information. KW provides so many great tech tools to their agents, which is great, but often a little overwhelming for your agents, especially as new agents. They sign on and get all this great information, and it's very common for them to feel overwhelmed. So a few items to help direct your agents to, so that we're trying to implement to help with that overwhelmed feeling. All right, first of all, we do have this top video on the top of our questionnaire, or our MyKW Setup Complete email rather, that walks them through how to read this email. Okay, so that's a really great place to point your agents to first. We also have provided videos to the right of each one of these logins that will teach your agents how to utilize each one of those tech tools to kind of help draw it full circle for them. They have the login and then how to use it, for example. You might also see on the bottom here additional instructions. We encourage your agents to send over their headshot and their biography if they didn't on the original questionnaire. So that's often things that the agent can email over anytime to us. And as we scroll down further, we'll be coming back to these next steps here. So we do try and provide next steps to help keep agents on track with their KW technology. But on the bottom here, I just want to show you real quick. We do have their eEdge email address and the eAgency website, which is set to retire any day. But of course, they've been saying that for a few years now. We do try and put that on the bottom of their setup email, as we don't want to encourage agents to put that on their business cards, as these are not really in use for everyday business. So we hide that down here, but for your reference as an admin, if you need to send off IDX or so forth, we do have that on the bottom here. But where I'd like to point out is this top option here on the bottom that says eAgency section 4.1 checked and sent to WolfNet. And we will either have yes or no on this right here. Now, where this really comes into play is, of course, setting up their WolfNet IDX. However, what I want to talk about here is their MLS ID being... let me see here. What I wanted to talk to you guys about next is having your agent's MLS ID entered into the white pages. Now, the Playster website, I'm going to scroll up slightly to the Playster website section. So you might see a lot of times when we send over these MyKW Setup Complete emails that instead of having their Playster website address here, it'll say not available right here instead. Now the reason that is the Playster website does not launch in the agent's account until their MLS ID is entered into the white pages. And unfortunately, we are not able to enter the MLS ID in the white pages for you guys because you have to log into an admin MyKW account in order to do that. So for example, your MCA's MyKW account or team leaders, they generally have admin access to add the MLS ID to the white pages. So what we do in that case, if it says not available here, we also send a second email to the office staff specifically letting you know that Playster is not available, and if you could put it in the MLS ID in the white pages, that'll get it to launch. So you've probably seen that Playster unavailable email that we send you as well. At that time, once you do put their MLS ID in the white pages, if you don't mind, if you could reply back to that email and let us know their MLS ID has been entered into the white pages, we then will go back into the agent's account and get their Playster site set up. So just a heads up, it takes about 24 to 48 hours once the MLS ID is entered into the white pages for the Playster site to launch in the agent's account. So that's when we check back in and we get it all set up as soon as it launches. If you have any questions on that process, let me know. If you are unsure on how to enter your agent's MLS ID in the white pages, feel free to email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We have a 10-minute tip video that I'd be happy to shoot over to you to walk you through that right away. It's just a few steps there. But the main moral of that story that you need to know is make sure to add your agent's MLS ID to the white pages, shoot us an email to let us know, and that will launch your agent's Playster site. Of course, it's really important to have your agent's MLS ID in the white pages, not only for Playster, but also because your agent's listings will not syndicate out to Zillow, Trulia, all the 150 different websites, unless the MLS ID is in the white pages. So it's a very important step, and that is what is indicated on the bottom here, where it says yes or no here. Yes means yes, it is entered into the white pages, and no would mean, of course, that is not entered into the white pages, and that still needs to be done. So please let me know if you have any questions at all on that, and I'm happy to help you through that. It is a big step that, unfortunately, the office staff would have to do on that side. Now, again, as I mentioned, this is a whole lot of great information for your agents, but also overwhelming. And a big question that we get from agents is, great, I'm set up with all the KW Tech tools. Now what do I do? So we tried to provide that answer under next steps here, right under all the logins. And you'll notice step 1 here says click here to access our 30-day challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see what the 30-day challenge looks like. Okay, so on this 30-day challenge here, what this is this gives them literally a task a day for 30 days on what to do to further optimize and learn their KW technology and digital marketing. So we have it here on our website with links on each to directly go to each item we're recommending. If your agent would like to download the challenge as a PDF as well, I believe this is the link, let's check that out. I know personally, for me, I really like checklists. It makes me feel really accomplished to check something off. So we do have this as a printable version as well. So you can give that maybe to new agents in their onboarding packet if you would like to, so they can go through and check off each one. And again, that is on our website as well, to give them direct links to access each one of those items we're recommending. So really great thing to do to keep your agents retained too and really interested, especially if they onboard at a time that's kind of in between Ignite sessions. This is a great thing to point them to. And where I am on that, how I got there, and so you know how to point your agents to that, that is on their MyKW Setup Complete email. About halfway down under Next Steps, we have click here for our 30-day challenge. So just a heads up, great tool for your agents. Step 2 here. So this is checking out our training videos for the MyKW platform. This is where I would highly suggest pointing your agents to as far as learning the KW systems, again, on top of Ignite or in between sessions. This SLM webinar link right here is perfect for your new agent. So what this link is those are classes that Scott teaches, and there's a 1-hour overview version that shows them how all of the KW technology works together and how to navigate through it all. But there's also, for the less techier agent, we do have that class also in a 3-hour version. So we split it up into 1-hour classes for 3 hours. And that is all recorded on slmwebinar.com. So new agent training, that is a great place to start. But you'll also notice we have slmtraining.com too, and I'll send this over in the chat, guys, so you have this. The SLM training there is more specific training classes, so I want to say a little more advanced training classes, slmtraining.com. It has like our dot loop training classes, Playster training, trainings on our website, on the eEdge database, on marketing material. So it just is more 1-hour specific trainings on the KW system. So really great to point your agents there as well. Of course, feel free to read over all of these next steps as we have, marketing materials for your agents and free templates here as well. But the top two are just prime places for training and keeping your agents on track. All right, and so if you don't mind now, if you don't have any questions on that, I'm going to go back over to the ScottLeroyMarketing.com website, and I'm going to show you some of the leadership support items that we have that you can take advantage of to help leverage your work to us so you can focus on other things. So again, I am on ScottLeroyMarketing.com. And again, I'm hovering over KW Resources on that white toolbar. And as you might have guessed, let's go down to Leadership Support. Okay, so Leadership Support. So I'm going to overview all of these items here, but I'm going to point out, really focus on the ones I think would be most beneficial for you. 30-day launch, excuse me, what that is if you are a new market center with our services, we do have this 30-day launch, very similar to the 30-day challenge I showed you for your agents. The 30-day launch will help give you a task each day to help integrate our services into your processes and get your agents to start using our services. So we created 30 days of how to do that in your market center. Let's go ahead and go ahead and click on KW Leadership Support from that flyout menu there. So again, I went to KW Resources, Leadership Support, and then I actually clicked on KW Leadership Support from that flyout menu. And on this page, it will show you a whole bunch of different free leadership support items that we're of course happy to help with. So these are different things like domain forwarding to your office or recruiting site. If you want us to set up a retention or recruiting campaign for your contacts, okay, for your agents. Of course, we can help you import your agent roster into your My Office eEdge database. That's a big one that we do for offices. A couple others I would like to highlight, a List Hub exceptions report. If you're not familiar with that, that'll show you any of your agents' listings that aren't syndicating out. So we can help with that and help figure out why that would be happening and get that fixed up. We also have the Office Playster website set up and the recruiting website set up as well that a lot of offices take advantage of. So feel free to scroll around on this page, check out all the different things. We kind of tried to centralize all of the different leadership support items right on this page to make your life easier. So that's a great resource for you. And again, KW Resources, Leadership Support, and then KW Leadership Support from that flyout menu. All right, a couple other things on this list. So we have a leadership cheat sheet. So if you're not a whole big fan of video training, which is ironic since you're watching this video, but we do provide a leadership cheat sheet as well. So I went through and actually wrote out instructions on how to do every single item that I could think of that leadership would need to do within their KW technology. From things like even looking up what your agent's KW email address is or their Playster website address, to putting your agent's MLS ID to the white pages and so forth. So I believe that's around 30 plus pages there for that leadership cheat sheet. So feel free to check that out if you would like written instructions on how to do anything. We have this offboarding questionnaire as well. So if any of your agents make the poor decision to leave KW, we have this offboarding questionnaire so we can go through and disable their agent profile, websites, export their contacts, turn off their drip campaigns, and so forth. So feel free to check out that offboarding questionnaire, and that would need to be filled out before they're removed from Winmore. We have office marketing flyers, so those are our Scott Leroy marketing flyers that you can print out and hang around your office, so like our training schedule and so forth, and different items we help with. Onboarding checklist template. This is a pretty cool one and a fairly new one. I want to say within the past couple months we rolled out this onboarding checklist template. And what this is, so if your office, you're still working on smoothing out processes, what this is we tried to come up with a checklist here. Let's see if I can zoom. That's a little far away. But we tried to come up with a checklist that tells you each items that we don't do during our setup process that would need to be handled by your staff. We tried to put it, corresponding to each role, like your MCA and ASC. Of course, this is editable, so you can change this around. But this is just a general template to give you a checklist. I know I always used to have on each agent's folder, as I was onboarding them, I would have a checklist stapled to the very front of their folder so I could see exactly where they were on the onboarding process and check that off as I went. So it's, of course, a great thing to utilize in your onboarding process, and this is completely customizable, so you can edit this to make it for your market center and your processes. So great tool to check out. And again, how I got there is KW Resources, Leadership Support, and Onboarding Checklist Template. So that's a great one. SLM Overview. So this is a good one to check out as well. We do, of course, provide a whole ton of different services, so it's sometimes hard to remember everything that we provide and to make sure that you're utilizing fully our services. So this overview right here does literally give you every ounce of what we help with links to each one of those. So you can browse through these for some light reading to make sure that you are fully utilizing our services, and check that out. All right, I'm just going down this leadership support flyout menu here, and the last one I'm going to talk about is this Track Your Office. This is a cool tool as well. So Track Your Office, so of course it's you'll need to know when your agents are submitting questionnaires, and this does that exactly for you. So if you're not sure if an agent has submitted a questionnaire in your office yet, you can come here and you can even search by agent name. All right, we're already logged in, right, as your market center, so you should already see any submissions made by what agent. All right, you can even search by the agent name, and this will show you any onboarding questionnaires they would have submitted or support requests as well. So you can see all that here. And we also have training tracking. All right, so I know that training tracking is big right now, so we do have a list here that shows you which agents came to our online training classes as well. So hopefully that'll help out for your training tracking. And just one more reminder how we got to all that: KW Resources and Leadership Support. Now the very last thing I'm going to show you in today's class, and I will let you go enjoy your Friday afternoon, is this template section. So in this template section here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on templates from under KW Resources. Now we created a whole bunch of different templates that are for both office staff and your agents. So again, KW Resources and templates here. There is a video on the top of the page that'll walk you through how to utilize our templates right away, and of course that does the same for your agents. What I'm going to do is I'm going to point out a couple of the ones that I think that you'd really benefit as office staff from using. And I'll also point out a couple for agents that are my favorite as well. But you know, different things like a first closing flyer to really recognize your agent and help with retention. Anniversary flyers, that's a big one. We also have birthday flyer, I believe, right under it. Birthday flyers to recognize your agents. And of course, all of these are really great for retention in your office. Another big one, of course, you can scroll through and see all the different ones, such as the career night and calendar with capper flyers. Email signature is a really big one, especially for agents. So that's that email signature banner that you've probably seen on emails coming through. These are all free templates for your agents, so that's a great thing to utilize here. And there's Ignite flyers, holiday pieces, and so forth as you scroll down. We have lore as well. So what I'm going to show you real quick, I'm just going to show you there's about 2 key things that you would need to know when creating these flyers in order to use them. So let me show you those quickly if you don't mind, and if you'd like to follow along, of course, feel free. I'm going to go ahead and select the anniversary flyers on the top of this red list, and it is alphabetized if you're looking for that. So I selected anniversary flyers. And then from here you might see a folder if we do have a bunch of those, so I'll just double click on that folder there, and that'll open that up to show you our anniversary flyers. Now the first big thing that you need to know in order to utilize our templates, and this is of course the same for your agents, is first step is you would need to be logged into your Google account, so your Gmail account. Now all of your agents and all of your staff, of course, you guys have a KW Gmail account. So your kw.com email address is a Google account, of course. So the first step would just be to make sure that you're logged into gmail.com or Google. And I can tell that I'm logged in because I can see my initial on the very top right here. So I know I'm logged into my account here. If it said sign in on the top right, of course that would be a good indicator that you would still need to sign in. So we got the first step. We're logged into our KW email, or any Gmail account for that matter. And I can simply double click on whichever template I would like to start editing. So feel free, if you'd like to, double click on a template to open that up. Now, as I mentioned, there was just one other big item that you need to know in order to set up or utilize our templates here. You'll notice when you double click on a template, you can't just click to start editing. Okay, you won't be able to edit it from here. What you'll have to do is come up to File on the top left, so it'll be under the template name. You'll see it says File. And you'll need to click Make a Copy. So if you're taking notes at all in today's class, this is a good thing to write down. When you open a template, you'll need to go to File on the top left and click Make a Copy. And what that will do, once I click Make a Copy, is it will copy it over into my Google Drive. Okay, all these templates are created on Google Slides. So I am now copying this template over into my Google Drive. Sorry, I did that kind of fast. You would just click OK. Let me show you that one more time. You would just click OK here. It's just telling you which folder it's going into. So I'll just click OK. And you'll notice once you do that, it opens up a copy of the template. So you'll notice on the tab here, it says copy of and then the template name. So you can go ahead and X out of the other template as we can't edit that one anyway. So we just have the copy version up here. And now this will give you the ability to add in your agent's name and how many years they've been here. And of course, to change out, just a quick tip on this before I let you go, to change out any images on these templates, it's much easier to just click on it, and you'll right click on that headshot and just click Replace Image. And that will keep the formatting of the template, but just replace the Scott's lovely headshot there with your agent's headshot instead. All right, so those are the big things to know when working with our templates, and hopefully you guys got a lot out of utilizing our services to make it a smooth transaction in your market center. Of course, if you have any questions about any of our technology or any of the KW Tech tools, feel free to email us or call us anytime. You can email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We try to respond to emails within 1 to 5 minutes, so we do respond pretty quickly. So let us know how we can best help you in fitting our services into the processes that you already have in your market center. I hope you guys have a great Friday and a good weekend, and let us know how we can help you further. Have a good one, guys.